All right, for our last video here, I'm going to show you a way to find outliers. Because remember, we decided LeBron James was an outlier in that data set, but we need a good method of finding outliers rather than just saying, well, this looks like it might be one. So the first problem, number 5, we're just going to kind of talk through some terms. Minimum, maximum, median, upper quartile, and lower quartile. Now, a couple of these you can probably already figure out. The minimum is the smallest value. There it is. Oh, see, I was so nice. I put these in order. The maximum is the largest value. There it is. Okay, so nothing really to talk about there. We already know how to find the median. It's the middle number. So in this data set, let's see, 21 is our median. Okay. The cool thing about the median is it splits the data in half. So half the data is above the median, half of it's below it. Okay, what the quartiles do is along with the median, it's going to split our data into 4 equal parts. Okay, so what we're going to do to find the upper and lower quartile is we're going to take out the median. So just kind of ignore this for now. And we're going to look at all these numbers below it. Okay, we're going to find the median of those numbers. So there's only 5 of them. So the median of the lower half, we call this the lower quartile. Or the other way we refer to it is quartile 1. And obviously we shorten that because that's too long to write, Q1. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing to find the upper quartile. We're going to ignore the median, look at all the numbers above it, and you're going to find the median of that set. So it's 29. This is the upper quartile. We also refer to this as quartile 3, and our shortcut for that is Q3. So we have first quartile, third quartile. You may be wondering, what's the second quartile? It's actually the median. So we don't usually call it quartile 2, but there it is. So between quartile 1, the median, and quartile 3 is it splits our data into 4 equal parts. Then the other thing that we have to talk about is something called the interquartile range. The interquartile range is the distance between Q1 and Q3. Okay, we call this the IQR. 50% of your data, your middle 50% of your data is in the interquartile range. Okay, 25% is above, 25% is below. So we can actually calculate what the interquartile range, if your quartile 3 is 29 and your quartile 1 is 14, your interquartile range, you just subtract those, and on this problem the interquartile range is 15. Okay, so we can use all that information. Statisticians, that's the word we're looking for, use that to determine if things are outliers. So right here in this box, to determine if a number is an outlier, we use this formula, quartile 1 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range, and quartile 3, those are backwards. My apologies. That should be a minus. That should be a plus. Please change that. Quartile 1 minus 1.5 times the interquartile range, and quartile 3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. So you're going to do these two little formulas and you're going to get two numbers. If you have a value that's outside of those, you're going to have an outlier. So we're going to do number 6 together so I can show you what this means. Let's get there. Okay, so 22 students spent some time working on an assignment, okay, and this is how many minutes they spent on it. So we want to know, are any of these outliers? Did any of these students spend way more time than everybody else or way less time than anyone else? So the first thing we need is the median. There's 22 students, so our median is going to be right here. At 21 is our median. That was really sloppy. Okay, median. Okay, so now we've got 11 numbers above it, so we're going to find our quartile 3. So let's see. I just lost count. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. This is Q3. And we're going to look at the numbers below the median. There's 11 there, so it looks like right here is Q1. Okay. Now, those two formulas that I had you correct on the last one is Q1 minus 1.5 IQR and Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. Okay, so we're going to plug these numbers in. First, actually, I'm going to move this one over here. Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. Okay, our interquartile range, the IQR, is third quartile minus first quartile, so that's going to be 10. Okay, let's start plugging in numbers. So Q1 is 15 minus 1.5 times our IQR, which we just said was 10. So this turns out to be 15 minus 15, which is 0. Let's go figure the other one out. Q3 is 25 plus 1.5 IQR, which is 10. So 25 plus 15, and that's 40. Okay, so what these two numbers do is they give us some parameters. If there's any numbers in our data set that are below 0, that's an outlier. Well, we look at our data set and 10 is our smallest number. So obviously we don't have anything below 0. We look at the other one. If any of our numbers is above 40, that's an outlier. Well, out here we had one student who spent 65 minutes. Since that's above the 40, we would consider the 65 to be an outlier. This person took significantly more time than the rest of the classmates on this. So hopefully those make sense. If you have questions, you're going to have a handout practicing finding mean, median, modes, standard deviation, quartiles, interquartile range, outliers, all this stuff we've just done. Go back and watch the videos. If you have more questions, feel free to give me an email, and we will talk more about these things tomorrow.